Welcome to A Dose of Feel Good. I'm your host, Whitney Bischoff, and today we are talking about doing what makes you feel good. You can see full show notes at doseoffeelgood.my.canva.site. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello everyone, episode 15 here, and today we're talking about doing what makes you feel good, which I feel like we probably should have done this a while ago, since the podcast is called Dose of Feel Good, but we're here, we've made it, and I'm excited to talk about this topic and kind of bringing together some of the things that we've talked about before. When we think of doing what makes us feel good, and I may be talking a lot in the sense of you, global you, I think we don't really put much time and attention into really knowing what makes us feel good, and then on top of that, doing those things. We, as society, I think, a lot of us are people pleasers. We want others to really recognize us and I think the things that we're doing, but we often do things to maybe help others or really get that recognition, and sometimes it might not be coming from like a place that really makes us feel good. The feel good piece comes from the people pleasing, and I think learning to step out of that space can be really difficult. It's hard to ask for what we need to be happy, and I was talking to my younger sister about this the other day, that I think maybe sometimes if you have grown up in traumatic spaces or kind of doing just what you need to do out of survival, the things that make you feel good get put on the back burner. When you're in survival mode, it's just doing what you can do to get by day to day, and that's a really hard place to be in. And so when you are maybe out of those situations, that trauma doesn't just go away. And I think it is then hard to ask for what we need to be happy, and even not even knowing what that looks like in practice. But I think when we're in this space where we're living for making everyone else happy or pleasing everyone else, we miss out on the opportunity to truly live our best lives. And this is something that we have to learn and we have to put into practice, these things that genuinely make us feel good. It's not something that we just know how to do, but when we learn how to do this, which we'll get into here in a second, like how do we actually get to that space, right? We do truly miss out on like these truly joyful moments, and I don't want us to miss out on those. And so knowing what makes us feel good and doing those things and making it really authentic to us can be an absolute game changer. I think this is going to be hard for, I think, some of us to hear, but I need to hear it too. So I think we think we're good at putting on these masks, that we have it all together, that we are really doing well. But y'all, people can see past that mask. Like, it is night and day difference when someone is genuinely living their best life and doing those things that make you feel good versus doing the things that we think others need to see for us to feel good, right? Like this mask, people can see through that. So when we choose to feel good and do those things that make us feel good, our confidence grows. We don't care what anyone else thinks, but we are living our best life and doing the things that we want to do because it refills our cup. It's not for anyone else. It's for you. It's for us. And we give ourselves that permission to break the mold a little bit. Like, it's the feel-good things that make me feel good is not going to be what makes somebody else feel good. And so when we live in this space where it's constantly for everybody else, we miss out on that opportunity to even think of when we're living our best life, that it shows others that it's okay to do that, right? It's okay to ask for what we need to be happy. But again, it's definitely a learned trait. So I have a couple stories, I think, that puts this into play. I am definitely a recovering people pleaser, if you will. It's just not comfortable all the time to, I think sometimes maybe like brag about ourselves, and not in the sense of like, oh, I'm the best person ever, right? It's more of like learning to ask for what we need, and it's not comfortable. My friends always joke because I tend to plan my birthday parties. It took me a while to get there. Like, I was constantly in this space of like, oh, I want someone else to plan it or whatever. And oh, if they don't love me enough. I know it's a little messed up thinking, but I think it comes from that space of like, I didn't know how to advocate for what I want, what I need. And so now I'm in this space. I plan my birthday parties every year. And my 30th birthday, I had a small group of my friends and we dressed up as old ladies, went to Deadwood, South Dakota. And this is, for South Dakota speaking, this is a place where like people go for like their bachelorette parties, things like that. Like that's the vibe. Anyways, we weren't even dressed up as cute old ladies. Like, no. One of us was vacation grandma, we had glam grandma, we had sleepy grandma, we even had like patriotic grandma, and like we had Goodwill clothes, we had like the obnoxious old lady makeup. We were not cute, I promise you, not cute at all. And then we all had these like alternate personas of old ladies, and we talked like old ladies the whole night. We used like language of like a grandma talking to like young kids, and it was honestly like the best time, like absolute best. Like we would walk into each place and people would be like, the Golden Girls are here, and I was like, absolutely, like I am living for this, loving it. People wanted to take pictures with us, and like, you know, then there's the other groups of girls that are all dressed up, look so nice. Good for them. It was just not the vibe for me at all. But I had literally the time of my life. And those are the types of things that like previously I'd be like, oh, I gotta like look a certain way or like do things a certain way. And now I'm like, no, forget that. I want to do the things that make me feel good. And that's obviously an out there example. I think another way that I've really tried to lean into this, I'm not a meditator. My brain is going a million miles a minute all the time, which is why here's the podcast, because I can share what's going on in my brain. But I learned this probably over the last year or so that I love the water, the lake, even a pool, the bathtub. I don't know. I love water. And I've started to connect the dots that like, that's where I find my peace. And so whenever I am trying to meditate, I picture myself floating in a lake usually, but like that's my happy space, and giving myself permission to I didn't even go to the lake one time this summer, and I'm like, man, I really missed out on an opportunity there. But knowing like that's what makes me feel good. I also being weird makes me feel good. Like I do the most obnoxious out there things. I say what's on my mind. I really don't try to dull it. I don't have much of a filter. And I've gotten to a place where like, I'm okay with that. Like it makes me feel good and I'm gonna own it. And then obviously where this podcast comes from as well is just doing kind things for others and not expecting anything in return. But like that is something that genuinely makes me feel good. And so I've taken inventory, right? Like these are the things that make me feel good, and giving myself permission, time, space to actually do those things. But it started with kind of recognizing throughout those experiences that those are the things that genuinely make me feel good. And so we have to take that inventory and then put time and attention into actually doing those things. but like, why? What's the impact of this, right? Like, if we feel good, great. Like, it's just this maybe like warm, bubbly feeling that we have. But I think when we learn to lean into those things that make us feel good and actually doing them, and we know that when we're sharing those moments and sharing those things with others, it genuinely makes them feel good too, and gives them kind of that permission to do those things, because it's not comfortable. Like I said, that's how I started this whole episode. But I think even thinking of like, how to identify those moments or those things that do genuinely make me feel good, like in an authentic way, I think I always say, like, it's when we go, oh, my heart, like, whenever it's a video or whatever, right? When someone's telling us those things, like, I know I do that often, ask anyone who's around me very often. But I think when we say those things, like, we see hope even when it's hard. And so, like, it's those moments that, like, you feel some sort of like warm feeling in your chest. I just say out loud, like, oh, my heart. And just doing more of those moments and finding those opportunities to really be there. And when we're building that feel good, and really building that up, when we feel capable of doing it, because it can be hard to focus on those feel good moments and making time for those when we're in a hard space. But when we lean into that, when we are feeling good, when we're feeling in a really good headspace, it protects us from the crap that's ultimately going to be thrown at us at some point. So if you are in a good headspace at the moment, that's the time to really lean into these. And I know I've said this before, but even if you maybe aren't in the best space right now, sometimes we have to fake it till we make it and do something that will make you feel good to kind of pull yourself out of that space for the moment. And then when you are in a better space, really leaning into those really great moments to kind of build up that resilience, which I know I'll talk about in a future episode as well. But how do we actually put this into practice? So I think it starts with just trying new things, like push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. And not everything that you're going to try, you're going to love or is going to make you feel good. And that's totally okay. But in those moments, like, pause and like, do I have that warm, bubbly feeling inside of me? Or am I doing something and then sharing all of the fun that I had in that moment? Like, those are the moments that we want to take inventory of. And when we find out what those things are that do make us feel good, then making the time to do them and not being scared to do those things, right? I think it's asking for what we need, but first we need to know what do I need to really feel good. And so that's the two things that we're talking about here, is like recognizing what those things are and then doing them. And that's a practice. So putting that into practice, right? And I think I want to end the episode with this, because it can be hard to make that time and space for doing the things that make us feel good. Like I said, especially if we're in a hard space. And so if you're not to that point, that's totally okay. When you are, I encourage you to come back to this episode and know how to put this into practice, because we want you to live your best life. Everybody around you does. And as maybe a stranger, or if we know each other, I'm rooting you on from afar. But I want you to be in that space where you are truly living your best life. And to do that, we have to do the things that make us feel good. But I want to give this reminder that there is hope in authentically feeling good, and you will get there. It might take time, it might take space, but you will get there. I promise you. So with that, I think that's where we're going to wrap up today's episode. So make some time, do those things that make you feel good, and see how good you feel at the end of the day. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you are feeling ready to conquer the week and let your impact ripple out to the world around you. Let's connect on Instagram and Threads at Dose of Feel Good Podcast. If you're loving the podcast, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and leave a review. Until next time, share your own dose of feel good and never underestimate the power of positivity.